Hello there, it's Tania Gabrielle, Wealth Astro-Numerologist. Welcome to Star Codes. This is the podcast where we look at an upcoming event in the stars and numbers, the astrology and numerology, and this forecast is for all signs. Now, we are moving into a new lunation cycle that begins on April 27th. It's the Taurus new moon. Super exciting because the moon is exalted in Taurus. Now it takes place on April 27th at 8:31 p.m. Universal Time, which is 3:31 p.m. Eastern New York and 12:31 p.m. Pacific LA. Now the moon is the fastest and most changeable planet in our solar system. It only takes 29 days to move around the sun, so the cycle is very short. It stays in each sign for 2.5 days. And when in Taurus, the moon feels grounded, exalted, and really secure because Taurus is also a fixed sign and an earth sign. Taurus enhances your gift. It's ruled by Venus, the creativity and love and abundance and pleasure planet. It also governs food and the harvest, and Venus and Taurus really help you feel treasured. It's like you are discovering your inner treasure. Now we think of Taurus usually as being very peace-loving and down to earth and not causing a lot of drama, right? But this new moon is more dramatic. It definitely is more feisty. Now first, notice in April, both lunations, the full moon in Libra on the 13th and the new moon in Taurus on the 27th, are ruled by the same planet, Venus. And remember that Venus stationed direct this month on the 12th of April. So Venus is really pointing us towards where we need to go. It became the morning star again this month. It is our saving grace. And so through all this feistiness that I'm about to share with you, that is happening as we speak, we want to turn to that Venusian Taurian energy. So at the time of this new moon, the sun and moon are within 4 degrees of being exactly square to Mars and Pluto. The sun and moon are at 7 degrees in Taurus. Pluto is at 3 degrees in Aquarius, and Mars is at 4 degrees in Leo. Now this reactivates and really magnifies the effects of the Mars-Pluto opposition that was just exact 18 hours earlier prior to this new moon on Saturday, April 26th. The sun and moon are square to Mars, square to Pluto, creating a T-square. So we have similar storylines that were activated during the Libra full moon, which also had that T-square to Mars and Pluto with the sun and moon being opposite each other. And in fact, Mars and Pluto are opposite each other for the third and final time, which makes this very potent. Because of Mars's retrograde that began in December, there were other oppositions on November 3rd between Mars and Pluto, on January 2nd, and now again on April 26th. So the impact on us that's associated with this type of T-square, with all planets in fixed signs, Aquarius, Leo, and Taurus, the impact would include being very stubborn, being more possessive. There could be more of this battle of wills. The flip side is it gives you a lot of courage. It fires you up. It really instigates a drive to succeed, sometimes at all costs. And also because of the fixed signs don't like to change. So there may be a resistance to change amidst all the changes that are actually being asked of us at this time. So if the pent up energy of this fixed T-square is not given a healthy outlet through exercise, through calming down, through meditation, it can erupt in irrational behavior, aggressive action, reactive conversations. So the thing about Mars too is Mars is in Leo, a fire sign, and Mars is a fire planet. So Mars being opposite Pluto will really fire you up with this goal-directed energy. And it's extremely powerful energy because it unleashes a deep, profound energy within you that wants to be ignited. It's like lighting a fire, right? So we are at a major shift again at this point. And fortunately, there are other energies during this lunation that calm the energy down. Like I said, Venus rules the Taurus new moon, and this is beautiful, loving, abundant, fragrant energy. And we also have Mars. Mars is in that T-square. Mars is trying to Neptune. And so when we have these wonderful calming aspects that are accompanying some of the more challenging ones, there's a lot of support in the air as well. So for example, Mars trine Neptune, it really spiritualizes how you use your energy. You're more open, you're more receptive to new ideas. It helps you direct your energy by expressing yourself creatively and spiritually and using your imagination and intuition. So you can take your imagination and direct it towards understanding things that are more subtle, more mystical, right? And that includes astrology, numerology as well, but it really helps you to then move through some of the more reactive energy that may come up for you or you may experience through others. It also activates more subtle, refined vibrations and helps you transmute interactions with kindness and with love, which is what Neptune, the planet of unconditional love and compassion, helps with. Plus, it's very romantic when Mars and Neptune come together, especially in a trine. The trine is the most harmonious of all sacred geometric connections between planets and points in astrology. Then, also to help matters, Venus, the ruler of this new moon in Taurus, is conjunct Saturn, and that helps you really focus on meeting your emotional needs. So nurturing yourself, nurturing and understanding others. And it's very important because Saturn also restricts, to not restrict how you feel or how you want to express yourself. Give your imagination a structured way to express itself so you don't suppress your creativity. Your intimate relationships too, which Venus rules, take on a more serious tone, which is good for long-term secure connections and shared values. Venus is also conjunct Neptune, so it helps Mars in that sense because Mars is trine to Neptune, and so that enhances love and creativity. It's really out of this world. It's very romantic energy, compassionate energy. And what can happen sometimes, it can keep you lacking from motivation because Venus and Neptune really have no boundaries. There's no sense of structure. Fortunately, we have that conjunction of Venus and Saturn, so that helps matters. So what I would suggest is that with all these combinations, that you really not partake and really avoid harsh, loud, aggressive environments and people during this new moon. Focus on nurturing, sweet, creative, caring, kind, compassionate energy. So that's what you want to create, is beauty, right? We have a lot of Neptune and Venusian energy here. We have a lot of Mars, Pluto energy that's opposite energy, that is very, wants to be explosive and is very passionate and intense. So it helps to have some kind of outlet. And what also is assisting the new moon is, again, the ruler Venus is sextile to Uranus. Uranus is in Taurus, which is the sign of the new moon and the sign that Venus rules. So this sextile to Uranus by Venus, which is a harmonious aspect, helps you to be really connected with sparks of intuition and creativity and creating something brand new and unusual and feeling very independent and channeling any kind of nervous energy into your creative imagination and exploration. So explore your creative hobbies or do something that generates greater financial flow as well in maybe a new way, because Venus also governs abundance. Now, Taurus supports your core inner strength so that you don't waver and stay strong in the midst of all these major transformations. And Taurus, also being an earth sign and a fixed sign, it helps you overcome obstacles and blocks and challenges. So you want to be patient during this time, rely on your inner resources, and know that with Mars and Pluto playing such a major role in activating this T-square to the new moon, keep in mind that Pluto is the slowest moving of all the outer planets. It just moved into Aquarius for 20 years back in November. And Pluto is having a huge impact, especially because Aquarius is a fixed sign and is square to Taurus. But it's having a huge impact on us for the next 20 years, of course, until 2044. And so I have a surprise for you. I have a brand new free masterclass, Pluto in Aquarius, the astrology shift for the ages. And you can get instant access at shiftfortheages.com. I think you're going to love this masterclass. It's all about how Pluto in Aquarius is impacting your life, is impacting the collective, what to look for, how to prepare. This is a powerful freedom energy that needs to be leveraged. And then we'll go back in history. We're going to look at the 11 previous Pluto in Aquarius periods in history, because history gives us such an unmatched perspective. And so we are going to get guidance from those previous 11 periods for the current cycle that we are in of Pluto in Aquarius. And this goes back way before BC, where we're going to get started. And I'm going to introduce an ancient Hellenistic forecasting technique that unlocks the future, so we can discover the 5 segments of Pluto in Aquarius between now and 2044. This is really fun. And then we'll look at the most recent Pluto in Aquarius period, which is so important. If you remember 1777 to 1798, all that happened then. And that's going to tell us about likely frequencies and outcomes between now and 2044. And we're doing so much more than that. So enjoy that free new webinar. You get instant access at shiftfortheages.com. Now have an incredible new moon in Taurus, a wonderful week, and I will see you in next week's Star Codes forecast. Lots of love.